Today we're making Chinese soup dumplings. Are you a big fan of it? With some recipes, you might find people use chicken feet and chicken bone to make the broth. The broth is the most important part of the soup dumpling, as you know. But in this video, I used beef tendon. Either one, it works. While the beef tendon is being boiled in a pot, we're going to prepare the seasoning bag with the spices that I listed here. My full recipe is in the bio link. Please check it out. Let's check back on the beef tendon. So it's been boiled for 5 minutes or so. Simply transfer to this pressure cooker with hot water and the seasoning bag in. Pressure cook it for at least 1.5 hours. Here comes the most important question. What do you do while you're waiting? Cheers. A glass of wine or a bottle of beer will do, right? Once the beef tendon is fully cooked, we're going to remove the spice bag and the beef tendon pieces. Make sure the broth is clear before we season it with some salt to taste. And then scoop out maybe a big bowl of soup, cool off, and store it in the fridge for overnight so it can be formed into this jello texture, just like that. That comes from the beef tendon or chicken feet. Now we simply dice it up into this texture, leave it, and set aside. Next, we make the bread dough with all-purpose flour and warm water. The water temperature is roughly 160 Fahrenheit. At first, we rest for 20 minutes and then knead the dough for another 5 to 10 minutes. Finally, leave it and rest for at least 1 hour. While we're waiting, we can definitely start with other prep work. Slice some scallion, only use the white part into this fine texture. Grate some ginger and mix these two together in a bowl. Season with salt, mix it all together. It smells heavenly, trust me. Smells so good. In order to make the seasoning water, we add in water, Sichuan peppercorn, fennel seeds, star anise. Bring to boil for 5 minutes. Drain, that's the seasoning water you will need. Finally, we're going to make the stuffings for soup dumplings. Adding ground meat, white pepper, Sichuan peppercorn powder, chicken powder, egg white, seasoning water to mix in one direction, and then adding scallion ginger mixture as well as the beef tendon jello. That's it. Alright, personally, I think making the wrapper and wrapping the dumplings are the most challenging part of the recipe. So once we let the bread rise for 1 hour, you want to make it into a long log, right? Roll it out into even size and cut it into roughly between 8 and 10 grams for each wrapper of the soup dumpling. Roll it out with a rolling pin. Make sure the edges are as thin as possible because it's gonna make your wrapping job much easier. As you can see here, we add in the stuffings and you want to hold it like what I'm doing here. So it's gonna take some practice. Usually it requires 24 pinches, okay, to complete a professional Chinese soup dumpling wrapping. But you know what? As long as you can close it, stuff doesn't come out. It doesn't matter, okay? So we steam it for 10 minutes or so. That's it. Your Chinese soup dumpling. Finally, we can enjoy soup dumpling with dipping sauce of your choice. I also have pro tip on how to enjoy Chinese soup dumpling in my profile. Make sure you check it out. Thank you for watching.